Not a single cloud in the sky on this gorgeous, lovely day here in San Luis Obispo. It's Froze Saturday at Sinsheimer Stadium, and we are back for more San Luis Obispo Blues baseball. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everybody. As always, every day, my name is Mark Robinson, sitting alongside my pregame show co-host, Nate Mills. As usual, we're here to get you set and ready for yet another San Luis Obispo Blues game. Nate, how you feeling for today?
I'm feeling great. You know, this is a team that has seen its struggles in the CCL South this season. The Blues are riding a 3-game winning streak as they're trying to hold on and get sole possession of second place in the CCL North with just 6 games left in the regular season. They want to host a playoff game, give themselves a momentum to, most likely, let's be real, face the Walnut Creek Crawdads in the semifinals. And they have a good opportunity to do that today against the Barons.
Let's start rubbing the crystals together. Let's get the good juju going. The Blues will face the MLB Academy Barons tonight, a little Southern versus Northern matchup. A little bit of a backstory on the history of these two teams this season, as well as how the Barons have shaped up over the last week or so as we're in the tail end of the CCL regular season. The MLB Academy Barons have played the SLO Blues only once this season. It was very, very early on, a June 12th away game. It was only the 3rd league game for the SLO Blues and the 2nd away game in league for the Blues as well. The Blues unfortunately fell 1-7 to the Barons. Still getting kind of the league play figured out. Like I said, it was only their 3rd time seeing a league team. They'd played a lot of non-conference games before then, but working out the kinks, getting through as usual. Flash forward to today, we're now 15-13, starting to figure things out just as the season's wrapping up, hoping to clinch a playoff berth. Taking a little bit of a look at how the Barons have shaped up in the CCL over the last week, though. The last 4 games they've played in order, they took a win over the San Diego Sunrays, the auditioning Southern team who will not go to the CCL playoffs regardless of their spot in the standings, a 9-6 win. Followed by a win over the Arroyo Seco Saints 7-3, where they then followed that by a loss to the Saints 6-8. They split that series 1-1. And then a win over the OC Riptide 4-3 as well. The Blues have seen 2 of these 3 teams over the last week and a half. We had a 2-game series here against the Arroyo Seco Saints as well, where we also split those 2 games 1-1. And then we took a road trip down south facing Orange County in one of those games. I believe we took an 0-3 loss to Orange County as well. So hoping that we can kind of take some of the momentum that we have on this, I believe, 3-game winning streak for the Blues and put that towards taking the win of the 2nd game that we are facing the Barons this season.
Not only is this a 3-game winning streak for San Luis Obispo, but 2 of them have come from their rivals down south in the Santa Barbara Foresters. These past 2 games against SB were absolutely electric. Great way to end the season and take the victory over their rivals from down south in the regular season series, 5-3 over Santa Barbara, who was one of the top 2 or 3 best teams in the entire CCL. So the Blues are feeling really good, especially after last night's chaotic victory, an 8-7 win over Santa Barbara. The game nearly went 4 hours, but it had everything you could ask for. It had ejections, it had benches clearing, it had fun offense, it had good pitching, and so the Blues are trying to secure a little more comfortable win today against the Academy Barons, but you can't help but think they're feeling really good after defeating their rivals in a 2-game set to win the regular season series.
Yeah, going to a 3-game winning streak, 2 of those games against their arguably hugest rival in the CCL. And like you said, especially after last night's game, seeing Sean Cannon, our debut pitcher last night, going to St. Mary's as a true freshman in the fall, getting ejected for a wild pitch that, in my opinion, was not at all intentional. I think it was just a little bit of nerves coming from the 18-year-old, just getting a feel for his first time stepping on the mound in a San Luis Obispo Blues jersey. We saw the Foresters' 3rd base coach get ejected after, I don't even know, some sort of a squabble down there where everyone was getting upset about potential Foresters players leaning in at pitches, trying to get their elbows nicked by the balls coming in. And all the pitches, just a crazy. Did we not quite hit the 4-hour mark?
No, we were just south of it at 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh, I thought we did. I thought we did get there eventually because first pitch was around 6, and I mean, we didn't leave the stadium as interns till 10:30. Very crazy game, but like we were talking about on pregame yesterday, all we wanted was to end the season with a winning record against the Santa Barbara Foresters, and we were able to do that in an odd yet exciting fashion last night as we look to continue our winning streak and take a win over the MLB Academy Barons tonight. So taking a look at tonight's game, we have a few players in the lineup that we want to talk about and that we want you to look out for as you continue to join us for the broadcast this evening. Starting it off with shortstop Sam Ardois. Last night, Sam Ardois went 3 for 3 with a double, 2 singles, and those 3 hits brought in 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. I actually interviewed with him, spoke with him after the game. He said his biggest priority when he's going up to bat is making sure that the next guy can get up to the plate and do the work that he needs to do. I thought that was a really selfless answer. Sam Ardois is such a great guy. He works so hard out there. I remember early on in the season we were watching BP, and he took a foul tip to the foot. And I'm pretty sure he said something to the pitcher like, "We like that. That's good pay right there. We need that." Like, he's just like, he's got such good energy, such a great guy. And, I mean, that energy showed for him at the plate last night. Going 3 for 3 on an exciting game against Santa Barbara like that is very awesome. We're hoping to see him do more of that tonight.
Well, that's the energy he should have brought yesterday against SB as the Blues were facing Mason Cook for the first time this season. The Blues obviously had played Santa Barbara, or did play Santa Barbara, for 8 games this season. They didn't see Cook one time, and I mentioned on the broadcast yesterday as well. It's very important to get deep in counts and see the arsenal that the right-handed pitcher had last night, and Ardois was able to do that, and it paid off for him in that 3-hit evening last night. He's been struggling with the stick a little bit this season. It was nice to see him turn a corner, especially in a big game like that against the Santa Barbara Foresters.
I believe somewhere in the season he was number 14, and he changed his number to number 4.
He was.
And I think since then he started to somewhat shake the bad juju from number 14, which that's actually painful for me to say. I am number 14 in any sport that I ever play. That's been my number for baseball, lacrosse, soccer, flag football. That was always my go-to, number 14. Double lucky. I don't know what I loved about it, but to this day, if I ever wear a jersey for a sport again, it'll be number 14.
Well, unfortunately for you as well, Bryson Hoyer traded jerseys with Sam Ardois, and so now Hoyer has since departed from the team. He took that 14 with him, although it is still not confirmed yet. We have a couple of relief pitchers coming in for the Blues that Bradley Waite will be wearing number 14. Would not be surprised if we see him today in this game that is lacking in pitching for Dean Traynor. We got the starter today for the Blues. It's Cody Albright, so nice look for San Luis Obispo. He's been one of the most solid starters all season with a high strikeout rate. He attacks the hitters with the fastball inside, and it's just a joy to watching him tote the rubber every time for the Blues. But there are very limited arms available in the bullpen. Maybe 1 or 2 for Dean Traynor. So we're really going to need that length from Cody Albright this evening if the Blues want to keep this staff intact as they prepared for another game tomorrow against the Caneo Oaks.
Yeah, in the press box, we like to call Cody Albright the chillest dude in America. Getting ready to take the mound for the Blues tonight. This season with the Blues, he has 32 innings pitched, a 1.97 earned run average, and 38 strikeouts. What a season it's been for him so far, and it's still undecided where he's going to land for school. He's still uncommitted, but, I mean, looking at those stats, it's no secret that he's going to land somewhere well-deserved and really good program.
Yeah, Albright was one of the Blues to represent the CCL North in the All-Star game down at the Academy Barons home in Compton. He faced 2 batters there and got 2 strikeouts alongside putting together an incredible season with the Blues. So still looking for a place to call home. I have high hopes for the right-hander from Phoenix, Arizona.
Absolutely. And speaking of high hopes, I am hoping that he can hold out for as long as he can tonight because like you were saying a few minutes ago, the bullpen is lacking for the Blues right now. And it's not lacking in skill, it's lacking in pure numbers. As the season's coming to an end, we have people getting ready to conserve their arm, get ready for their college season, going home to spend time with family, rest up, all that stuff. And the biggest thing that we're losing is pitchers. So I'll be curious to see what manager Dean Traynor does tonight with Cody Albright, depending on his early performance in this game, how long he stays in, who he kind of plays around with and subs out, and how many pitchers he ends up using tonight overall, because we have another game tomorrow, and we need to conserve those arms as much as possible in order for the batters on the other side of the field to continue to swing at the pitches that they want to be swinging at but end up striking out.
I honestly would not be surprised if we saw some appearances by position players coming out of the bullpen, because tomorrow is such a big game against the Caneo Oaks as they're riding a 5-game winning streak. Their contest last night against the Academy Barons was cut short due to the lights turning off, so that game is still TBD. So for now, still a 5-game winning streak for Conejo, one of the best teams in the entire CCL. They lead the CCL South, and so that's who the Blues have to face tomorrow. And if I'm Dean Traynor, I want to prepare my best arms for that game as San Luis Obispo tries to maintain sole possession of second place. So today we could be seeing appearances from Gavin Constantine, Brendan Comerford, E.J. Royal, or just a couple guys who have talked to me about potentially pitching, as they almost did against the Walnut Creek Crawdads in Game 2 of that 2-game away series. So stay tuned there. We'll see what Dean Trainer goes to in the bullpen tonight against the Barons.
What a fun plot twist that would be, to see one of those guys who've put all the time and hours into perfecting their hitting and playing well in the field step on the mound and try to pound the zone a little bit for the slow blue. A little Shohei Ohtani action.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome. One more player we want to look out for tonight in the lineup, Sebastian Lopez, playing infield for the Blues tonight. We don't see him out playing that often for the Blues. I think you said 39th game of the season tonight. He's only played in 7 of those 39 games, and he only has 1 base hit on the whole season with the Blues. If I were him, I'm obviously feeling hot, and I'm ready to get as much swings and hits as possible. You think he's going to be able to do that tonight and get hot?
Yeah, look, I mean, he hit that single against the Conejo Oaks in Game 2 of their 2-game road trip. He hit it in the upper 90s over the shortstop's head to get his first hit of the season. So I think he's seen it well, and I think he's glad to get his 8th start of the season for the Blues. He's seen very limited playing time, as you said, those 7 games and 39 for the Blues this summer. It is rumored that he'll play tomorrow against the Oaks as well. I talked with him in batting practice before the game yesterday. He's expecting a start today and perhaps one tomorrow. So Lopez getting some reps, and, it's really hard to string together a couple hits like that when you have as little playing time as that. But he's trying to do it here against the Academy Barons today at Sinsheimer.
Trying to get dialed in before he heads back to the Pacific Northwest, beautiful Seattle University. Not much time to do it, but we're almost there. 6 games left in the CCL. Just under 5 minutes until first pitch. SLO Blues getting ready to face the MLB Academy Barons and looking to hold on to a 3-game winning streak. Thank you very much for joining us on the pregame show, Nate. Always a pleasure. This handshake will never die.
Absolutely.
It is the principle of the San Luis Obispo Blues to foster a family-friendly atmosphere, allowing for the continuing growth of a quality baseball experience here on the Central Coast. To that end, spectators are asked to support their team in a positive manner and treat opposing fans and players with respect. Profanity, racial slurs, or otherwise unruly behavior will not be tolerated. Violators will be removed from the facility. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. The Blues are proud to announce today's free foul ball sponsor. They are the folks from Enterprise Secure Chat. And our first pitch today is a youngster named Robinson. He is 10 years old. It is his birthday. And he is representing our VIP sponsors today, Tennis Warehouse. Okay, Robinson, let her fly. Thank you very much, and our thanks to ES Chat for sponsoring our free foul balls and the Tennis Warehouse for being our VIP sponsor today. Here is the lineup for the MLB Academy Barons. Leading off will be number 18, the shortstop Anthony Bassett. Will be followed by number 1, the center fielder Zach Freeman. And it's number 9, the first baseman Andrew Kirshner. And batting 4th for the Barons, number 29, the second baseman Dylan Luna. Batting 5th for the Barons, number 28, the right fielder Jacob Fanovsky. And it's number 4, the the catcher, Adam Arroyo. Batting 7th, number 16, the third baseman Efren Ortega. And it's number 31, the left fielder Andy Cisneros Jr. And the ninth batter for the Barons today, number 51, the DH Grant Ferris. The starting pitcher for the Academy Barons will be number 40, Andrew Stanley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your San Luis Obispo Blues. Leading off, playing center field, number 50, E.J. Royal. Batting second, playing right field, number 5, Jake Hixenbaum. Batting third, wearing number 18, the designated hitter, Max Lane. The cleanup hitter is 2 District, Tay Hobson and Jessica Nye. We'd ask you please to stand and kindly remove your hats. Ladies.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Tay and Jessica. A part of a great new expanded, exciting
Saturday in the park at Sinsheimer Stadium as the Blues get set to host the MLB Youth Academy Barons in Game 2 of 3 of this mini weekend series between 3 different teams at Sinsheimer. Hello and welcome back to the broadcast booth. My name is Nate Mills, calling the ball strikes and much more for your SLO Blues on the SLO Blues streaming network as we show you the defensive alignment for the Blues getting ready for the Academy Barons. Owen Estabrook throwing down the signs with Zach Tullerman at first base. Brendan Comerford making his third start at second base in a row, with Sebastian Lopez returning to the hot corner after playing against the Conejo Oaks in that mini road trip, the final one of the season for the Blues. Sam Ardois is back at shortstop, and the outfield left to right is Cooper Witten, E.J. Royal, and Jake Hicksonbaugh, with Max Lane doing the designated hitting. And on the mound for your Blues, it's the right-hander from Phoenix, Arizona, Cody Albright. Making his 8th start for the Blues this summer, his 2-1 record, 32 innings pitched, 24 hits allowed, 7 earned runs, 14 walks to his 38 strikeouts. Just a tick south of a 2 ERA, 1.97, with his 1.1 whip carrying into this game against the Youth Academy Barons, an uncommitted right-hander from Paradise Valley Community College, looking for a new place to call home after representing the CCL North in the showcase game down in Compton, California, where the Barons play at the MLB Youth Academy. So he gets the start against Academy today. Here's the starting 9 for the Barons. Leading off, it's the switch-hitting Anthony Bassett with Zach Freeman batting second, Andrew Kirshner batting third. Dylan Lena cleans things up with Jacob Klinowski batting fifth. Adam Arroyo 6th, Efren Ortega batting 7th, Andy Cisneros Jr. in the 8-hole, and Grant Ferris, the pitcher, rounding things out in the 9 spot. More on that later. We're set over here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues looking to fuel their 3-game winning streak. This year, San Luis Obispo is 17-10 at home with a 23-15 overall record, 15-13 in league. That's good for second place in the CCL North. They're tied in that spot with the Sonoma Stompers, where San Luis Obispo owns the tiebreaker as they won against Sonoma in the head-to-head tiebreaker. So Walnut Creek still in first. The Blues, as of right now, hosting a playoff game, a wild card game against the Stompers, and they look to maintain that here, playing against the Academy Barons, who are out of the picture in terms of playoffs in the CCL South. 8 games behind first in the Conejo Oaks, who are the leaders. Here's the first offering from Cody Albright as he comes set from the stretch. It's a fastball missing outside at exactly 4:05 p.m. at Sinsheimer Stadium. First pitch weather is 76 degrees and sunny in San Luis Obispo as Bassett swings and misses for strike 1. Really couldn't ask for much more here on the Central Coast as fans trickle into Sinsheimer Stadium to watch their Blues hopefully earn a 4-game winning streak as Bassett fouls this one off the mask of Owen Estabrook for strike 2. Albright with his 10.69 strikeout per 9 ratio, or strikeout per 9 rate, looking for number 1 right here against Bassett, the shortstop and switch hitter. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses outside, evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anthony this season is playing in just his second game with the Barons. Only has 4 at-bats, 1 hit in that time. A walk and a strikeout as well. Albright comes set on the 2-2. Now comes home. Off-speed pitch, just up and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count to the leadoff man from Cerritos College. Played his second season of college baseball there, where he batted .324 for the Falcons. And there's a leadoff walk to begin the game for the Barons. Not the start we're used to seeing from Cody Albright. Walk per 9 ratio is just south of 4. And he begins this game with walk number 15 on the season to Bassett. And for Bassett, that's his second of the season. Not enough of sample size on the speed of Bassett over at first base. Just 3 stolen bases this past season with the Falcons in his 46 games played. He was caught 2 times. So now it's the left-handed hitting Zach Freeman, the Buckeye from Ohio State University. Center fielder from the Academy Barons, born and raised in Los Angeles, comes into this game with his .302 average as he weakly taps this one on the ground. Left side, Comerford flips it over to short for 1 and on to first in time. Double play. 2 gone here in the first. Just a textbook ground ball. Comerford with the easy flip to Arjois and over to Tallman in plenty of time for the twin killing. So now 2 gone for Andrew Kirshner, the first baseman batting third for the Barons this afternoon. A Lakewood, California native entering his redshirt sophomore season with the UNLV Rebels. He redshirted his last season down in Vegas, and he's first pitch swinging. This one's popped up into center field. Royal trots to his left and makes the flat-footed grab, and the side is retired. Scoreless first inning for Cody Albright as we'll head into the bottom half of the first. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network.
4491, if that's on your program.
Scoreless first half of the first inning for Cody Albright, getting his 8th start of the season for the Blues. Let's show you the defensive alignment for the Youth Academy Barons. Behind the dish, it's Adam Arroyo with Kirshner at first. Lena at second base, Ortega playing third with Bassett at shortstop. The outfield left to right is Cisneros Jr., Freeman, and Klinoski, with Ferris doing the designated hitting. And on the mound for the Barons, it's Andrew Stanley, the right-hander, facing this Blues lineup this afternoon. Some more on Stanley, today's starter, a Seahawk from Wagner University out in New York after playing 2 seasons of junior college baseball at Golden West. Born and raised in Huntington Beach, California, he's entering his senior season back east. And so far this summer for the Barons, he has a 2-2 record, a .497 earned run average, making his 6th start of the year, 25 and a third innings pitched, 29 strikeouts there, 10 walks, and 24 hits. So a strike thrower from Huntington Beach, exactly what the Blues want here as they look to jump early on this Barons pitching. Last time he made an appearance, it was against the San Diego Sunrays. 6 innings there, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 1 walk to his 6 strikeouts, and 24 batters faced. Leading things off for the Blues, it's E.J. Royal. Then Jake Hickson-Baugh, the only left-handed batter, bats second. Max Lane, third. Cooper Witten, fourth. Zach Tollerman, fifth, with Brendan Comerford batting sixth. Owen Estabrook, seventh. Sebastian Lopez, eighth. And Sam Ardois rounds it out in the ninth spot. E.J. Royal leads things off as he did yesterday. Collected a base hit in the contest against the Santa Barbara Foresters, the Blues' final one of this summer. He reached base safely 3 times on a fielder's choice, that single, and the walk in the 8th inning. First pitch slider to him is in there for a strike. Royal been one of the premier hitters for the Blues this summer as that off-speed misses high and tight for ball 1. With his .254 batting average, his 7 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. Creeping up behind Brendan Comerford, who leads the team in doubles with 9. Royals almost got 7, only trailing by 2. As that fastball misses up and outside, 2-1 to EJ. Blues looking to keep that same energy they had yesterday as they're looking at Mason Cook making his first appearance against San Luis Obispo in the summer of 2024. Just trying to see as many pitches as possible going through the whole arsenal, and it looks like Royals doing that here against Andrew Stanley. Blues haven't seen him yet all summer as the 3-1 comes home, and it's a fastball missing high. There's a leadoff walk to the leadoff man. Runner on first after the walk to E.J. Royal, and now it's Jake Hickson-Baugh, the right fielder batting left-handed for the Blues. Hickson-Baugh collected a 2 RBI single in the 8th. It put the Blues over the Santa Barbara Foresters and what finished out as an 8-7 ball game. Huge moment at Sinsheimer Stadium. Hickson-Baugh had a 2-for-5 day yesterday with 2 base hits and 2 strikeouts. First pitch to him is a framed strike on the fastball in the outside corner. Good job by Arroyo from keeping that one in the zone. On deck, it's Max Lane, the DH from Harvard. Took the game off yesterday, tending to a hit-by-pitch injury he sustained in the left quad, as the pick over to first base is not in time to get E.J. Royal. Royal this summer has 14 stolen bags. 3 shy of the team leader, Hickson-Baugh, at 17, who is up to bat right now. Middle infield at regular depth as the third baseman Ortega creeps up on the infield grass. Throw almost gets away from Kirshner. Keeps it in front and Royals back safely on the pick move. Wind blowing straight out from the right foul pole to the left. Batting down all the balls hit in the air on the right side. Lefty trying to go the opposite way. Move the runner from first over to second base. As Stanley kicks and fires and misses outside on the fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hitters count to Jake Hickson-Baugh, who has only seen fastball this at-bat from Stanley. Slide step. This one in there for a strike. Fastball that caught the bottom edge of the zone. 1-2 to Jake Hickson-Baugh, widening out his stance in the lefty batter's box. Bending at the knees slightly more than usual. As another throw to first is not in time to get E.J. Royal. Andrew Stanley just played his first season of Division I baseball at Wagner. A 7.50 earned run average in 6 innings pitched. 5 earned runs there, 2 strikeouts to his 3 walks. 1-2, Hickson-Baugh swings and misses for strike 3. First out of the inning comes off a swing and a miss on a slider in the dirt. 1 gone here with a runner on first base. Now it's Max Lane returning to the lineup after tending to a hit-by-pitch injury against the Santa Barbara Foresters 2 days ago down at Eddie Matthews Field. Hickson-Baugh had to replace Lane in the game after getting hit by pitch the second at-bat or second plate appearance in a row. 2 first pitch HBPs for Max Lane as he takes a look at the off speed for strike one. Talked to him in batting practice yesterday. Was barking at him a little bit during BP. He said he'd be good by tomorrow. We are at tomorrow, and he's in the starting lineup. So good to see Max Lane back out there doing healthy with a runner on first base. As the 0-1 comes home, and it's weakly popped up behind home plate. The catcher, Arroyo, throws off his mask and makes the two-handed grab for the second out of the inning. After surrendering their leadoff walk to E.J. Royal, it's a strikeout swinging and a pop-out to the catcher, Arroyo. 2 quick outs for Stanley. Now batting, it's Cooper Witten, the left fielder, hitting cleanup for the Blues this afternoon. Witten went hitless yesterday with 2 strikeouts, a walk, 2 stolen bases while on base there, and 2 ground ball outs. A slugger from the University of Washington stepping in with 2 gone in the bottom half of the first inning. Another pick, not in time to get Royal. Outfield playing at regular depth to Cooper Witten, who is slugging .500 this season. Infield shifted to the left as the off-speed is weakly hit in the air into right center. Charging it is Klinovsky, and he makes the running grab. The side is retired. The Blues get no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. Scoreless heading to the second inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Dylan Lena, Jacob Klinovsky, and Adam Arroyo due up to face Cody Albright as we begin the second inning, and first pitch swinging on the fastball, nestling into left center field for a base hit. There goes the no-no for Cody Albright as Dylan Lena tacks on the first knock of the day for the Academy Barons. Ambushing the first pitch he saw, and we know the strategy. Albright in all of his starts just wants to attack all the hitters with the fastball as much as possible. Throw it until they can hit it hard. There's a hard hit single from Lena and a leadoff base runner for the Barons. So now it's Jacob Klinovsky, the right fielder, batting left-handed and hitting fifth for the Youth Academy today. The Pioneer from Cal State East Bay is first pitch swinging on that fastball and hits it over the bullpen of the Barons down the left field line for strike one. Klinovsky entering his senior season at East Bay as a native from Upland, California. He digs in with a runner on first and Lena. 0-1, opposite way again. This time it will stay in foul territory. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 fastballs. Similar result to the left-handed hitting right fielder. Klinovsky enters today's game with his .261 batting average, making his 9th start of the season for the Barons. 23 at-bats, 6 hits, 4 of them for extra bases, a home run and 3 doubles. 0-2. Fastball, that one misses high. Good leave from the right fielder, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Albright comes set. Infield playing at regular depth as the 1-2 comes home. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Cody Albright collects his first strikeout of the day on a changeup. Klinowski goes down swinging. There's a 1 gone with a runner on first for Adam Arroyo. The catcher from New Mexico State, who has had a college baseball journey to say the least. Grew up in Capistrano Valley, California, where he was committed to Cal Poly, then transferred to Golden West to play community college baseball, then to Hope International University to play NAIA. Now he has returned to Division I at the Division I level to play for the Aggies at New Mexico State. 2 quick strikes from Cody Albright. 1 taken, 1 fouled off. 0-2 to Arroyo, who was second team All-Orange Empire Conference in 2022 at Golden West. This season for the Barons, he carries his .279 average into this game as the sweeper misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Making his 13th start, he's the team leader in home runs with 4. Also has a double and a triple in his 12 hits this summer, as his burgundy bat waves over his head on the 1-2 offering. Here it comes, off-speed pitch. That one misses high. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had a bit of a hiatus after dealing with some arm issues. Some blood clots in his right arm that kept him out of the game. Fastball swung on and miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks from Cody Albright, and there's 2 gone after surrendering the leadoff single from Dylan Lena. It's nice to see Cody live with that 4-seam after giving up that hit to begin this inning to Dylan Lena. Still has confidence in it, and he's going to serve it up in the zone until they can figure it out. So now it's Efren Ortega, the third baseman. First pitch swinging. It's a weak grounder on the left side. Comerford and gobbles it up, flips it over to second for the force out, and the side is retired. The Academy Barons get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner is left on base. Still scoreless heading into the home half of the second inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Second inning is brought to you by Apex Technical Sales. You can find them at glenair-apex.com. Apex Technical Sales. We're here to make you successful. Leading off this inning, it's Zach Tullerman, then it's Brendan Comerford and Owen Estabrook, due up to face Andrew Stanley, who after giving up the walk to E.J. Rowe in the first, went 1-2-3, 2 pop-out 2 pop fly outs and a strikeout to Jake Hicksonbaugh. As Tallman finds himself in a 1-1 count, the first baseman committed to San Jose State. Tallman got the start yesterday, batting third for the Blues against the Foresters, as the 1-1 slider is swung on and missed, 1-2 to Tallman. Zach's day yesterday, 1 hit in his 5 at-bats, double play, strikeout looking, and a fly ball to right field. 1-2, hitting off the shin of the catcher Arroyo, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Technically, 2 6-4-3 outs for Tallman yesterday. Grounded into a double play with the 6-4-3, and then just 1 out in the 6-4-3 in the 8th. Chopped off his hands in front of the Barons dugout. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not something you see too often in the scorebook. A 6-4-3 that only counts for 1 out. Left side of the infield shaded towards the third base line as Stanley comes through on the windup. It's a slider that misses high. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tallman. Middle of the infield wide open as the first baseman Kirshner is pretty close to the line as well. There's a slider taken for strike 3. Animated punch out as Tallman goes down looking. Second strikeout of the day for Stanley. And Tallman was just not anticipating that slider on the outer half of the zone. It appeared he was looking to sit fastball the whole time. It just wrinkled in there on the outer half, and he had no intentions of swinging it. So he goes down looking for the first out of the inning. So now it's Brendan Comerford, the second baseman, batting 6th. There's a slider outside. Arroyo can't glove it. 1 ball, no strikes. Comerford yesterday against the Santa Barbara Foresters batted 7th and had a 2-for-4 day. 1-0. Another off-speed pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. RBI double in the 4th. Came around to score there. And a single in the 8th where he was walked home. 2 strikeouts to pair with those 2 hits. 1-1 almost hits him. He tucks his hands towards his chest. 2 balls and 1 strike. Comerford seeing an uptick in playing time with the departure of numerous Blues coming down the final 6 games of the series as that slider is swung on and missed for strike 2. Comerford, most of his time with the Blues, has played at third and first. In the past 3 games, he started at second base. 2-2, bouncing on the left side. The shortstop's got it. Throw on the run is in time for the second out of the inning. Nice play for Bassett with his neon pink glove for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs for Andrew Stanley, and it's Owen Estabrook, the catcher, batting 7th. Last time Estabrook played, it was against the Foresters down at Eddie Matthews Field, the first game after the All-Star break. He was hitless there in front of his family at Santa Barbara High School as he's late on the first fastball, straight back into the screen on the foul tip. no balls and 1 strike. A walk where he came around to score in the second, a strikeout looking, 2 of them. Ground ball out to short and a fly ball to right field. Here's the 0-1 to the catcher. And it's a fastball missing outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Owen. Estabrook on the 1-2. Chopped on the ground left side. Third baseman Ortega's got it. Few shuffles and a hard throw over to first. And the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for Andrew Stanley as we head into the third inning scoreless. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blue Streaming Network. Andy Cisneros leads things off against Cody Albright. He's first pitch swinging as he flies it to Cooper Witten in left field. 1 pitch, 1 out for Cody Albright. So it's Cisneros leading it off, then Grant Ferris and Anthony Bassett due up after that. That's the leadoff man. So Grant Ferris is up, the DH today, batting 9th for the Barons. There is a big caveat with him, though. He has not picked up a bat since high school. Ferris is a pitcher only from San Clemente, California, committed to play for the Rebels at UNLV. There are no hitting stats from his time at Washington State, where he was committed out of high school, or at Golden West this past season with the Rustlers. He's entering his junior season playing for the Rebels next year, and he is the designated hitter in this contest for the Academy Barons. Looks pretty hitterish in the batter's box, though, surprisingly, as the 1-0 comes home, and it's an off-speed pitch hitting the outer half of the zone for strike 1. I mean, he's giving me the aura like he drops nukes. He's got the baggy pants, the shin guard on the left foot, the wrist tape as he chops it on the ground right side, hit pretty hard to Comerford, who gets it on the big hop and throws it over to first in time. The side, or that's the second out of the inning. Hit that 100 miles per hour off the bat. The ground ball out to Brendan Comerford. And look, I did a deep dive on this guy before this game and could not find any hitting statistics on him. Not at Golden West, not at Washington State. Only in high school where he batted in the 240s. So now it's the leadoff man, Anthony Bassett, switch hitter, now hitting right-handed against Cody Albright. Bassett went up in his first AB as a lefty and walked there and was one of the 2 outs in the 4-6-3 double play hit by Zach Freeman. This one hit off the hands, diving as Lopez at third. He gets up, shuffles over to first. Tollerman picks it for the 3rd out. Nice play for the Red Hawk from Seattle University. The side is retired. Lopez flashing the leather. Scoreless heading to the bottom half of the 3rd. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Sebastian Lopez, Sam Ardois, and E.J. Royal due up in the 3rd inning. Lopez, after flashing the leather at third base to end the top half of the 3rd, digs in now. The 3rd baseman batting 8th against Andrew Stanley. Has made some pretty easy work of the Blues this afternoon. 2 strikeouts, 2 pop-out outs, and 2 weak ground balls from San Luis Obispo. As it is a scoreless ball game in the 3rd, and the slider misses low to Lopez, 1 ball, no strikes. Sebastian collected his first hit of the season in his 6th start for the Blues against the Caneo Oaks in their 2-game road trip, as that slider misses low to him, 2 balls and no strikes. It was a rocket at the mid-90s in terms of exit velocity over the shortstop's head down in Conejo. As the 2-0, another off-speed, that's this time in there for a strike. 3 straight sliders from Andrew Stanley and a 2-1 count to Sebastian Lopez. Here's the 2-1. Another slider, dribbled on the ground left side, fielded in fair territory. Ortega launches it to first, and it is in time. Ortega took a while to get that ball out of the glove and zip it over to the first baseman, Kirshner, and it barely beats out Lopez for the first out of the inning. 7 retired in a row for the Blues. Back-to-back ground ball outs to third as the 9-hole hitter Sam Ardois digs in. And the Lake Charles, Louisiana native had himself a day yesterday. 3 for 3 evening, a double, a 2 RBI single, and another base hit where he scored on a pass ball. Also walked in the 8th. Came around to score off the Hicksonbot 2 RBI single as the first pitch is taken for strike 1. Talked about on the pregame show how Ardois' mindset up at the plate, especially with a guy like Stanley, who the Blues haven't seen all season, is to see as many pitches as possible, bring back the scouting report to the dugout. As he shows bunt here and pulls it back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Trying to get a lay of the land for the right-hander from the MLB Youth Academy. As the 1-1 comes home, and it's a fastball missing outside at 87 miles per hour, 2 balls and 1 strike. After showing bunt, Ortega now creeping up on the infield grass. Ardois with his left heel on the dirt as he checks a swing on the 2-1 offering. They say he went around. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's an adjustment we've seen this summer from Sam Ardois in his batting stance. He looks similar to Casey Borba in the way that his left hip was open and his left heel was off the ground. We've seen that heel lower into the dirt in the latter half of the season as time is called at home plate. Ardois stays in the batter's box as the infield playing awfully shallow to the Louisiana commit from Lake Charles. 2-2, softly hit on the left side and foul. Third base coach Rene Regalado can't glove it. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, it's the leadoff man, E.J. Royal, only Blue to reach base today in the first third of this ball game. Middle infield leaving that gap wide open behind second base as Stanley comes home from the windup and misses low on that fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch to Sam Ardois. Chop right behind home plate. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 6 pitch at bat for Sammy. Number 7 coming up. If we get to 8, it's officially a quality at bat. Write that in your notebook. Here's the 3-2 again. Slider taken for strike 3. Third strikeout of the day for Andrew Stanley. Sam Ardois goes down looking on the slider that he thought was going to hit him in the hip. And now there's 2 gone for E.J. Royal. Royal, the only Blue to reach base safely. As San Luis Obispo has been retired on 8 straight. Royal looks to break that up. And the bottom half of the third inning as the first pitch to him misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Third K of the day for the Barons pitching, who lead the team in walks. 159 to be exact. As the 1-0 comes home, and there's a fastball hitting the outside corner at 87, 1 ball and 1 strike. Just 1 walk given up today by Andrew Stanley for the MLB Youth Academy. As the 1-1 comes home, and there's a fastball in the bottom half of the zone for strike 2. The Blues offense is bottom 5 in the CCL in walks. So I guess this is the result you get when a team that throws the most versus a team who doesn't walk all that often. You get 3 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. Off speed to Royal, misses low and inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Stanley impatiently standing on the rubber as the 2-2 comes home. Royal softly hits this one into left field and it nestles for a base hit. First knock of the day for the Blues, and it softly comes off the bat of E.J. Royal with 2 gone in the third. Now it's Jake Hicksonbaugh with 2 outs and the first run of this game at first base. In typical EJ fashion, he caught that one off the end of the barrel. Cisneros Jr. didn't know how to play it, if he should come and charge it and maybe take a slide or get it on the one hop, and he elected to choose the latter option as this one kicks off the shin guard of Arroyo. EJ takes off towards second. He's thinking about third, but he holds up as he shuffles back to the bag. So now a runner in scoring position, the first time the Blues have had that today for Hicksonbaugh, who came through in the clutch last night with his 2 RBI single in the 8th inning. Royals surveys the positioning of the outfielders for the academy. They're all playing awfully shallow, especially the left fielder Cisneros Jr. with his neon red cleats out in left field. Second time in the stretch today, as this one's hit on the ground right side. Alina gets it on the low hop. He throws it over to first in time. The side is retired. The Blues don't get any runs on a hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base, still scoreless heading into the 4th inning. We say hey man to Ryan Giacomini. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Middle third of this ball game, it's still scoreless. The Blues did pick up their first hit of the day off the bat of E.J. Royal. He was stranded in scoring position off the ground ball to second base from Jake Hicksonbaugh. So now it's Zach Freeman, Andrew Kirshner, and Dylan Lena up to face Cody Albright. There's a first pitch strike to the Ohio State Buckeye as Ryan Giacomini joins me in the broadcast booth. And Ryan, it looks like we're just getting a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel today.
Absolutely. Both pitchers just pounding the strike zone, and the hitters have not made either pitcher pay for it up to this point.
One thing we're seeing from Cody Albright that we're not accustomed to is the weak outs from the Academy Barons. We usually see him rack up the K numbers this early on. He only has 2 in his 2 innings of work, which may not seem all that special, but we're used to seeing him throw a couple more strikeouts than that. He's seen a lot of weak ground ball outs and pop outs from the Barons.
And we've seen him kind of go both ways. We've seen outings where he gets less strikeouts, more soft contact, and vice versa.
Hit into center field. Royal racing to his right. He sticks out the glove and makes the grab on the run. Nice snag from E.J. Royal as he dives in front of the warning track for the first out of the inning.
E.J. Royal showing off the speed and athleticism right there, putting his body on the line for the team. A bad day to be a washing machine and dryer.
Great jump from the center fielder, E.J. Royal. That is not an easy grab to make. He had to cover a ton of ground just shy of the warning track. And the dive was a result of all of his momentum going towards the ball. A lot of times you'll see players talk some trash to their fellow teammates, saying the things called UD, unnecessary dive. That's just some baseball vernacular for you viewers out there. As Andrew Kirshner digs in, the left-handed hitting first baseman who's 0 for 1 today. 0-1 misses outside. Count even from Cody Albright.
catch was made even harder by the fact that Freeman is a lefty, so that ball had some tail on it and was just running away from EJ the entire time he was chasing after it.
The wind is blowing out that way as well. So a lot of things going against the Utah Tech center fielder as this one goes between the wickets of Comerford at second base. An error brings Kirshner over to first with one gone.
That's a pretty inexcusable error. It didn't even take a bad hop on him. It just shot under his glove. They're taught from, T-ball. Up, down to up. You start the glove on the ground, it's easier to bring it up. Don't stab at the ball at the ground.
Comerford with a different angle this game. He's used to playing first and third, hanging out in the corner spots of the infield for the Blues all summer. He's making his third start at second base today for San Luis Obispo as the first offering to Dylan Lena skips outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Lena led off the second inning with a first pitch single. That was the one and only hit the Barons have today as that fastball misses high, 2 balls and no strikes. The errors have been problematic for San Luis Obispo this summer. Lately, they've been able to keep that number down, only committing 1 yesterday. The first one comes in the 4th inning for San Luis Obispo as the fastball is tipped off the mask of Estabrook, 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's his first error at second base during league play this summer. He does have 1 over at third base.
Time is called at home as Lena takes his time digging back into the right-handed batter's box, the uncommitted Rustler from Golden West College. 2-1, there's a fastball missing high. Hitters count to Lena. Dylan this season with his .255 batting average, 102 at-bats, making his 30th start for the Barons. Swung on in a high fly ball to left field. Witten ranges to his left, and he makes the grab for the second out of the inning. 2 gone with a runner on first. That's Andrew Kirshner, who reached base via the error from Comerford. And now it's Jacob Klinowski, the right fielder, and one of the 2 K victims from Cody Albright today.
Cody being extremely efficient with his pitches. He's at just 38 pitches through 3 2/3.
Music to Dean Trainer's ears as the Blues are essentially depleted on relief pitchers.
And that could have been a strategy coming into this game because usually he's a strikeout guy, which can run that pitch count up. Today, more soft contact and quicker at bats.
1-0. This one's fouled straight back to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike from Klinowski. Infield playing at regular depth. Outfield slightly shifted towards the left side. As the 1-1 comes home, and it's a fastball inside. Here's the back pick over to first. Tolman swipes the tag. It's in time. Snapback throw from Owen Estabrook, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left on base. Scoreless heading to the bottom half of the 4th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Fourth inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. Still a 0-0 ball game as Max Lane leads things off in the fourth. It's then Cooper Witten and then Zach Tollerman for the SLO Blues. Swung on and hit high in the air to left field. Going back on it is Cisneros Jr. He circles it and makes a one-handed grab for the first out of the inning. Loud out from Max Lane at 93 miles an hour into deep left field for the first out of the inning.
Very loud out. Just got a little underneath of that ball. 33-degree launch angle. If you get that around the 28 to 30 mark, it's more of a line drive and a harder play for Cisneros.
So now it's Cooper Witten, who popped out to right field in Klinovsky to end the first inning. He's first pitch swinging on the changeup here for strike one. Left fielder batting cleanup for the University of Washington Huskies. One of his teammates, starting pitcher Grant Cunningham, was a former Blue, or is a former Blue, and committed to Texas A&M this morning. Normal positioning for everyone on the diamond as the 0-1 comes home to Witten. This one missing inside, count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
We've been talking about Albright's pitch count. He's got 40 pitches through 4 innings. Stanley's done a good job, too. This will be his 50th pitch right here.
On number 50, it's a slider in there for a strike. 1-2 to Witten. Having to be tough with 2 now in the 4th inning. Bearing his face in his black glove is Stanley. As the 1-2 comes home. Fastball skipping in the dirt. Arroyo blocks it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Witten. One thing I've noticed about the Blues today is that most of the players are wearing the high pants. Yesterday, everyone did. And they had black socks yesterday. So that made me go, they just simply don't possess blue socks. Otherwise, they would wear them, right? Well, everyone's wearing blue socks today. 2-2. This one missing inside. Count now full to Cooper Witten, working himself into a nice at-bat.
It matches today's jersey very well. It would have matched yesterday's jersey very well. The black would just, it wasn't great.
They were literally named the Blues because of the blue socks. Payoff pitch, misses inside. Nice AB from Cooper Witten, and a 1-out walk to the UW Husky. Second walk of the day for Andrew Stanley. And now it's Zach Tollerman with a runner on first base. ZT always wears the high pants. Wears them today with his oven mitt in his back right pocket. Black wrist tape on both of his arms. And a runner on first and Cooper Witten. Witten takes off towards second base. The throw is low, and so is Arroyo's as it leaks into the outfield. Witten thinks about heading towards third, and he holds up at second base. A stolen bag for Witten, a runner in scoring position for the Blues.
We didn't see Witten show off the wheels a lot early in his summer with the Blues, but as of late, he steals bags left and right. And 1 right there, and he had 2 in yesterday's ballgame. He only reached base once, and then he stole second and stole third, and then later scored on a base hit from Sam Ardois in yesterday's ballgame.
8th stolen base of the season for Cooper Witten as he takes a small lead off second base. Stanley comes set from the stretch. Now kicks and deals. The 1-0 misses for ball 2. Lanky strides from Cooper Witten makes up a ton of ground in minimal time when he swipes bags. 2-0. Tollerman pops this one up into left field. Coming in on it is Cisneros Jr. He calls off everyone and squeezes it for the second out of the inning. 2 fly balls to left field, and there's 2 gone for Brendan Comerford, the second baseman who grounded out to Bassett last time he was up.
Now Comerford has to get it done. A base hit scores Witten and gives your ball club the lead here in what has been a pitcher's duel, just one hit apiece for each team.
The catcher Arroyo now jogging to the dugout. Looks like his mitt having some malfunctions here. Perhaps he broke the webbing. Trying to grab another one as soon as possible. He does. It's a different look. He had an all-black mitt before. Now he's got the tan base with the black webbing. And using someone else's glove. Your glove is a very sacred thing in the baseball world. You don't just let anyone take your glove.
Possible that could be his glove, a secondary glove, maybe a glove he used to use.
First pitch to Comerford, misses for ball one. Could be. School issued one and a personal one.
Something like that.
That's a bigger infielder thing, I think, a pitcher's thing as well. 1-0. Comerford, a wild swing on that changeup for strike one. As an outfielder, we didn't really care that much about whose hand went in the glove.
Yeah, and a lot of guys have respect. Like, you wear your glove differently in the last. Do you do two in the pinky? You got finger out, how many? Stuff like that.
1-1, inside move, no one's there. Who doesn't do two in the pinky?
I don't. There you go. Found one.
Well, there's our answer. 1-1. Checking a swing and holding up on the changeup inside is Comerford, 2 balls and 1 strike. How?
I was very, very typical. I liked it just straight up how it is.
Ryan and I played softball together at Cal Poly, and he was our shortstop. I don't know how you were able to glove some baseballs like that, as Comerford waves at an off-speed low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Maybe it's the reason I led the team in errors. I guess maybe next season we'll have to do a switch up.
Your fingertips had to have been red by the end of the year.
No, but I have more of an outfielder's mitt. It's a little bit on the bigger side, so more pocket to work with.
2-2. He goes the opposite way, and it's through for a base hit. Swing for Comerford as Witten comes home to score. RBI single for the Ohlone College infielder, and the Blues strike first.
A very uncomfortable swing from Brendan Comerford, a half swing, but it pokes through the gap on the right side of the infield, and Witten shows off the wheels, comes around to score, and gives the Blues the lead for the first time in this pitcher's duel.
Soft contact at 73 miles per hour. That swing was about a 73% effort from Comerford. Not entirely confident going after that pitch, but it works out for the Blues as it leaked through the 4-hole, and the Blues are now up 1-0 over the Academy Barons. Owen Estabrook now with a runner at first. He swings at the first pitch, a fastball up at his eyes for strike one. Owen is 0 for 1 today, a ground ball out to Ortega at third. We've started to see Comerford go the opposite way a little more. Not necessarily for power. Lots of soft contact there, but it's nice to see him consciously think about going to all areas of the field, and he did so that time, filleting the base hit into right, as Estabrook takes a look at strike two.
And he knew he didn't have to hit for power there. He just needed to get a base knock and bring Witten around to give this team the lead.
0-2 as Comerford took off towards second base. It's popped up and out of the stadium. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. He's been pull happy all season, Comerford has. Starting to develop into a guy who can put it in all parts of the field. Stanley comes set, slide step at home, and Estabrook weakly pops this one straight back and on the right side, staying alive at no balls and 2 strikes.
Foul ball taco. Thanks to ES Chat, our free foul ball sponsor.
Blues lead 1-0 over the MLB Youth Academy in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 0-2, Estabrook swings and pokes it in the left field for a base hit. Back-to-back knocks for the Blues, and there's 2 runners on for San Luis Obispo.
The Blues, the first time through their order, didn't record a single hit. Now EJ Royal, Comerford, and Estabrook all have hits, and it's produced a run. Now another runner in scoring position for Sebastian Lopez, who is still looking to kind of find his feet here this summer. Just 1 for 21.
Royal saying, come on in, the water is fine. Certainly saying that to Lopez here after recording his first hit in Game 2 of a 2-game road series against the Kineo Oaks. Lena holding on Comerford at second base as the first pitch comes home, and Lopez is late on that fastball, hits it just north of the Blues bullpen. No balls and 1 strike. And it's hard in Lopez's case when you're not getting the playing time that everyone else is to adapt to the pitching in the CCL and get used to seeing a competitive pitch come at you. It's difficult to string together hits.
This is also just not an easy ballpark to hit at with the wind factor and other elements as well.
0-1 is an off-speed pitch dribbled on the ground left side. A few shuffles from the third baseman Ortega launches it over to first in time, and the side is retired. The Blues strike first. They get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. 1-0 San Luis Obispo heading to the 5th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Fifth inning is brought to you by Richardson. They're the official headwear provider of the California Collegiate League. Go to richardsonsports.com to view the latest baseball performance and lifestyle headwear. Richardson, quality in every stitch. 1-0 lead as launching this one down the right field line is Adam Arroyo. Or check that, Jacob Klinowski for strike 1. The Blues struck first off the RBI single from Brendan Comerford, punching it the other way, bringing home Cooper Witten from second base. Owen Estabrook collected a hit as well, but the side was retired on a Sebastian Lopez ground ball to third base. Second time he's done that today, as Klinowski chops it on the ground right side. Tellerman got it. He takes it himself for the first out of the inning.
Cody Albright continues to work fast. 42 pitches through 4 2/3. I mean, Albright usually has a pitch count that hovers between 75 and 90, but if there were no pitch limit, he could very easily go the distance in this ballgame. I know it's still early. Anything could happen.
First pitch is popped straight up and behind us in the press box to Adam Arroyo for strike 1. Arroyo struck out swinging back in the second inning. 0 for 1 today. Slider misses low and outside, skipping in front of Estabrook's glove for ball 1. And for Albright at this point, you're trying to pitch as many innings as possible as efficiently as you can, as he's still looking for a 4-year college to call home next season. 1-1. Fastball up and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And I think he certainly proved that he can pitch at the next level this summer with the Blues.
Absolutely, especially looking back at some of his better outings against good teams like the Foresters, the Oaks, and the Crawdads.
Popping it up the opposite side in front of the Blues bullpen, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Adam Arroyo.
CCL is a pretty well-respected wood bat summer league, and Albright has been, he was a showcase player for the North, and he has been very dominant in the league.
2-2 to Arroyo. Swung on and tipped off the glove of Estabrook, who slaps his leather in frustration. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and two to the catcher from New Mexico State with his burgundy bat. Choking up on it and widening his stance. Here's the 2-2 fastball, way too tall. It gets Estabrook out of his squat. Fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Albright sighs as he comes set from the belt, and the payoff pitch comes home. He misses upstairs on the 4-seam once again. A 1-out walk, and Albright's second of the day.
I think the biggest flaw in Albright's game, to nitpick, would be the off-speed stuff isn't great, but it still gets the job done. The slider, the changeup have good movement. He throws them in good spots. But if those could develop, he could very easily play at a very good 4-year college.
Middle infield at double play depth with 1 gone, anticipating the ground balls. They can flip the second for 1 onto first for 2. As the first pitch to Efren Ortega misses for ball 1. Ortega, the third baseman, batting 7th, is 0 for 1 today with a ground ball to the second baseman, Comerford. They appeal to first on the check swing, and he didn't go around. 2 balls and no strikes. And more of those outings that Albright had against good teams. The Foresters, he shut them out in 5 innings of work. Just 3 hits, 1 walk to his 5 strikeouts. That was his first appearance in league play. As the 2-0 fastball misses inside, there's 3 straight from Cody. 3 balls and no strikes to Ortega. The Saints, another playoff contender in the CCL South. He went 4 innings there, just allowed 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Slider missing outside and a 4-pitch walk to Ortega. Back-to-back free passes from Cody Albright.
All of a sudden, that pitch count that we have been ogling at is rising and rising. Now he is at 53. He was at 42 with 1 out in the 5th, excuse me. Now he's at 53 and has not recorded another out.
There is a right-handed pitcher getting loose in the Blues bullpen. It looks like Alec Narin is wearing Casey Borba's number 12. Borba no longer on the Blues after competing for San Luis Obispo in the All-Star game, or I should say the CCL North in the All-Star game. And it's Narin, the wave from Pepperdine.
Narin has only 1 appearance with the Blues this summer. And that was back on May 31st in a game against the Santa Maria Indians, where he threw just 9 pitches.
It's been a minute as Anthony Cisneros Jr., the left fielder, digs in with 2 runners on. First pitch, he breaks his bat, but it's enough to get into the outfield for a base hit. Getting the windmill is Adam Arroyo. He will come in to score and tie this ball game. RBI single from the broken bat of Cisneros Jr., and it's 1-1 in the 5th.
And Albright definitely upset that he gave that run up, but you can't be too mad. You got really bad contact and just kind of got unlucky that the shift was on and to the pull side. and he was able to just squirt it off the end of his bat and into the outfield.
That one spun in no man's land in the infield grass, and now it's the designated hitter Grant Ferris, the pitcher only who hit a 100-mile-an-hour ground ball to the right side last time he was up. Takes a look at strike one against Cody Albright. Albright on the 0-1 comes home on the fastball that misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ferris, the pitcher committed to UNLV with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. 1-1. Fastball on the outside corner for strike 2.
And you were mentioning it as last time, although he is only listed as a pitcher, hasn't had a college at bat, kind of has the swagger of someone who looks like he would take some abs or maybe batting practice at least on a daily basis.
1-2, chop the opposite way. Tollerman has it. He goes to home and will tag out the runner in Ortega for the second out of the inning.
An interesting call there from Tollerman to come home with it rather than try to turn the double play and get out of the inning. But you get the out at the plate and no run scores, so the Blues will take it.
Still a tied ball game. Tolman wanted to keep this game tied as the leadoff man, Anthony Bassett, digs up for the third time today. The switch hitter batting right-handed for the second at-bat in a row after walking in his lefty stance in the first.
Very weird that you would draw a walk in the first, batting left-handed, and then switch to the right-handed side, ground out, and then go back to it.
First pitch, waving at that fastball at his eyes for strike 1. Go-ahead run at second base for Bassett as he squats in his stance with his left foot open. 0-1 misses in the dirt. Ferris tried going towards first, though backpick to Tallman, and the ball gets into the outfield. Rounding third and holding up there is Anthony Cisneros Jr. And staying at first base is Grant Ferris. Some miscommunication. It looked like it was perhaps a double steal attempt, or they both read the dirt ball as Grant Ferris was I'd say halfway towards second base, and Cisneros Jr. threw on the brakes way sooner. There was an opportunity there for Estabrook to snap it back to first, and it went into shallow right field. Luckily, no runs scored, and now there's runners at the corners. Fastball misses high and tight to Bassett. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And I was a little surprised that they didn't get the batter Bassett, for interference. He was standing completely out of the box and was hovering over the baseball, which made it way harder for Estabrook to glove the ball.
2-1 is a fastball down the middle for strike 2. 2-2 to the leadoff man. 0 for 1 today. Grounded to third and a walk in the first. Go-ahead run at third base. 2 gone. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball missing low and inside. Fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Albright trying to get out of the jam as the Barons are a swing away from taking the lead in this game. Payoff pitch. Fastball is fouled straight back and out of play. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Grant Ferris taken off towards second base on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Sebastian Lopez hugging the third base line at the hot corner. Another payoff. Fastball chopped behind home plate. Staying alive in this at-bat is the leadoff man from Cerritos. Bassett with his baby blue arm sleeve digs in the back of the right-handed batter's box with his cherry red shin guard. Here's the 3-2. Fastball hit off the hands and easily in the glove of Ardois. The game stays tied. The Barons get a run on a hit. No errors and 2 runners left on base. 1-1 heading into the bottom half of the 5th. We're halfway through at Sinsheimer. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. Tied ball game at 1 apiece as Sam Ardois, EJ Royal, and Jake Hixenbaugh are due up to face Andrew Stanley for the 5th time this afternoon, just over halfway through at Sinsheimer Stadium. And the Academy Barons tied things up off the RBI single from Cisneros Jr. that leaked into shallow right field as Sam Ardois takes a look at ball 1. Ardois, the shortstop, is 0 for 1 on the day, a strikeout looking in the 3rd inning. As the 0-1 wrinkles in the zone for strike 1. A slider coming out of the hand of Stanley. Some life in the Barons bullpen. No one throwing a pitch, but a couple guys warming up as the fastball misses high to Ardois. 2 balls and 1 strike. Alec Nairn was warming up earlier for the Blues. The pen is now empty as the 2-1 comes home, and that one's in there for a strike to Ardois. 2-2, the infielder from the deep south in Lake Charles, Louisiana. From the windup, he squibs this one down the first base line, and it rolls into foul territory. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nice job fighting off that off-speed pitch. Had he had taken it, certainly would have been called for strike 3, but instead, he stays alive in the 2-2 count, trying to see as many pitches as possible. That's his mission statement in every at-bat with the Blues. The Raging Cajun hugging the home plate in the right-handed batter's box. As the 2-2 comes home. He swings and hits it high in the air to left field. Going back is the left fielder Cisneros Jr. He's at the wall, and he makes the grab for the first out of the inning. 90 miles an hour off the bat of Sam Ardois. A long fly ball out for the first one of the 5th.
Very well hit ball, and it caught a good wind stream. Thought it had a chance to get over Cisneros' head. But Cisneros did a good job to range back and reach over his arm side shoulder to make the catch.
So now it's EJ Royal, who has reached base safely in 2 of his plate appearances. A single back in the 3rd. That was the first one of the game as he chases at that fastball for strike 1. Also a walk back in the 1st. One of the 2 walks this afternoon for the Blues against a team that leads the league in walks with 159 as he goes the opposite way, and it's going to fall for a base hit. Bouncing around the corner as Royal heads into second base with a 1-out double. 91 miles an hour off the bat of EJ, and he just found a perfect amount of grass in front of Klinovsky to nestle that one in for extra bases. 2 hits on the day for EJ. He accounts for 2 of the 4 this afternoon for the Blues. And now a runner in scoring position for San Luis Obispo. And Jake Hixenbaugh stepping up to the plate, trying to cash in the go-ahead run for the Blues. Hixenbaugh 0 for 2 today, a ground ball to the second baseman Lena, and a strikeout swinging in the 1st. First pitch skips in front of a Royal. High blooper as the throw to third gets launched into the outfield. Royal looking back as he'll trot home safely, and the Blues take the lead on the errant throw from Adam Arroyo, trying to catch EJ Royal stealing. Defensive miscue for the Barons, and it's a costly one as they now trail by 1 to the Blues. Hixenbaugh didn't even need to pick up the bat, and Royal has come around to score. So now a 2-1 game, and Hixenbaugh, the 1-0 count, shows bunt and ticks it back into the glove of Arroyo for strike 1. Free 180 feet gives the Blues the lead after hitting the double. EJ Royal as Hixenbaugh weakly hits this one on the ground right side over the glove of Kirshner and into shallow right field. Hixenbaugh rounds first and heads into second base with the head first slide. An error by the first baseman Kirshner and another runner in scoring position for the Blues. Hixenbaugh catching a nice break there. This was a softly hit ground ball to first. Easy play for Kirshner. Took a weird hop off his forearm and spun into the outfield. Bought an extra 90 feet for Hixenbaugh. So looks like Max Lane is coming out of this game. That left quad must be barking him after he got hit by that fastball against the Santa Barbara Foresters just a few days ago. So his day is done, and now it's Nico Button, the left-handed hitting catcher, playing his first game after suffering a concussion in the game against the Orange County Riptide down at Great Park Irvine.
Good to see him back in the lineup, a guy who has provided a spark from that left side for the Blues.
Runner on second, it's Hixenbaugh as the first pitch to the catcher Button is taken for strike one. Interesting to see how Dean Traynor puts in Button after not seeing competitive pitch for over a week. 1-0 is swung on and missed for strike two.
Well, the options are pretty limited for Dean Traynor. I mean, looking at our sheet here, you have Giovanni Blanchette, Gavin Constantine. That's about the end of the list. Maybe Jariah Lewis.
Another left-handed bat. He elects Button as the 0-2 is taken outside. Looked awfully close to me on the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hixenbaugh on second base after the error by the first baseman Kirshner. Stanley comes set, slide steps home, and Button takes it for strike 3. Changeup on the outside corner, and there's 2 gone in the 5th inning. So now 2 gone for Cooper Witten, who's 0 for 1 on the day, a fly ball to right field and a walk in the 4th. Witten with his light-colored maple bat digs in and almost gets hit by the fastball inside. He tucks his hands towards his armpit. 1 ball, no strikes to the left fielder. On deck, it's Zach Tellerman, and Brendan Comerford is in the hole with 2 gone. Blues lead 2-1 over the Academy Barons. 1-0 comes home, and Witten waves at that fastball at his chest. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Very hearty swing there from Cooper Witten, just going for it all on that chocolate mousse.
He wanted all of that one with the left center gap wide open. The left fielder, Cisneros Jr., shaded a little bit more towards the left field line. Freeman, the center fielder, playing straight up. 1-1. This one's dribbled in the infield grass. The third baseman, Ortega's got it, throws it over to first in time, and the side is retired. The Blues get a run on a hit, an error, and 1 left on base. They take the lead 2-1 over the Academy Barons as we head into the 6th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher for the SLO Blues, it's Alec Narin. Cody Albright's day is done after 5 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. A uncharacteristic day for the right-hander from Phoenix, Arizona, but now it's Narin, the wave from Pepperdine University. 1-0, and it's hit off the end of the bat of Freeman. Tollerman scoops it up and flips it over to Narin for the out. Some firewood, as instead of taking off towards first, Zach Freeman just kind of surveyed his bat in front of the batter's box. I've never seen that.
Usually most players will run it out and try to get to first, but
that is the instinctual move,
I
would say.
I guess not Freeman. Maybe he bought that piece of lumber today or something and is a little upset that he broke it.
Felt that one. 1 gone on the 6th for Andrew Kirshner, who's 0 for 2, and the fastball from Narin misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Kirshner, a Rebel from UNLV, redshirted his sophomore season down in Vegas last year. As that fastball is in there for a strike. Nice placement for the right-hander from Pepperdine.
Let's introduce you to Narin. This is just his second appearance this summer with the Blues. His last was May 31st. Took a hiatus away from the team. That one misses low and in the dirt. In his 1 appearance, he threw 9 pitches, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Just got out of that inning completely unscathed.
2-1. This is popped up and out of the stadium on the left side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kirshner.
In that outing, he had a fly out, a ground out, and a pop out.
Small sample size for Narin as he gets some more work with the Blues today. And the fastball misses tall to Kirshner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Narin pitched for the Blues last summer as well. Returns to Sinsheimer for the summer of 2024. As the payoff pitch is hit in the air on the right side deep. Going back is Hicksonbaugh. He's at the track and it one hops the wall. Rounding first and heading towards second is Andrew Kirshner. 1 out, extra base hit for the first baseman batting third.
Maybe a little bit of life for this Barons team after scoring in the 5th inning. A little bit of momentum on their side as it's been a run scored in all 3 of the last half innings.
1 hopper at 100 miles an hour over the head of Jake Hicksonbaugh. And the tying run at second base for Dylan Lena. A cleanup hitter for the Academy Barons as the first pitch is a fastball that misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. Lena has one of the 2 Barons hits today, or 3, check that. Recorded the first one back in the 2nd inning. Comerford holds on the runner at second base in Kirshner as that fastball is in there for a strike.
I got to say, Lena is not the stereotypical build for a second baseman. 6 foot, 220 pound. I mean, you see guys more like Comerford who are a little on the shorter side. That's usually your typical second baseman.
1-1. Off speed, waving at it is Lena for strike 2. One-two count to the uncommitted Rustler from Golden West. 1-2, skips in the dirt. Esterbrook keeps it in front. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blues lead 2-1 over the Academy Barons. But MLB threatening here with a tying run at second. 100-mile-an-hour double from Kirshner with 1 out. 2-2 hit in the air on the right side. The first baseman, Tollerman, ranging to his left on the fence, and he makes the grab, reaching into the bullpen. Here's the throw to third, and the tag is in time. What a play from the San Jose State Spartan. He flexes on him, walking into the dugout. Blues get out of the jam. It's still 2-1 St. Louis Obispo heading into the bottom half of the 6th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Oh, this guy, Zach Tollerman, leading things off in the 6th inning. The Blues up 2-1 over the Academy Barons. A spectacular put out from the first baseman, 1-5 style. How often you see that? He reached into the bullpen to make the grab in foul territory, launched a throw over to third, where the runner Kirshner tagged up, and he was out by 5 feet. What a play to end the inning. So Tollerman in the 1-0 count looks at that fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. So momentum for the Blues after a nice defensive showing for the first baseman as he looks at the off-speed downstairs on the 2-0 count for strike 1. Tollerman today is 0 for 2, a strikeout looking and a pop out to left field. 2 for strike 2. The left on right changeup ducking below his bat on the outer half. With 2 strikes, here's ZT. Chopper up the middle, diving is Bassett. He gets up and makes the throw and can't scoop it as Kirshner. Tollerman holds up at first, though, as the ball ricocheted right back in front of first base. They'll actually award him second. It looked like it went out of play. That light post in the Blues dugout must have knocked the ball back into the foul grass. So now Zach Tollerman at second base.
The Blues will take it. It's a leadoff base runner who stands in scoring position. It's not the best base runner on the team in Tollerman, but no outs. You just have to manufacture him home. Ground out, a sac fly would get it done, a base hit.
So now it's Comerford. RBI single back in the 4th and a ground ball out to the shortstop in the 2nd. Tollerman with a sizable lead at second as Brendan pops this one up in shallow right field. Klinowski circles it, makes the grab with one hand, and there's the first out of the inning. Minimal bluff from Tollerman tagging up from second base. He stays up there. 1 gone after that fly ball from the second baseman, Comerford. Blues trying to make the error from the shortstop Bassett hurt as Estabrook digs in with an out in the 6th. Owen today is 1 for 2. Part of the back-to-back hits in the 4th with Brendan Comerford. Paired that with a ground ball out to Ortega at third. Infield playing in against the Columbia Lion as the fastball misses high, 1 ball, no strikes. The Central Coast native from Santa Barbara, California, with a runner in scoring position, some insurance for the Blues on the base paths. Long hold from Stanley as he kicks and deals, and Estabrook hits this in the air to left field. Cisneros takes a few steps in and makes the grab for the second out of the inning. Weak fly ball outs from the Blues, 2 batters in a row, and now it's Sebastian Lopez who has grounded out to the third baseman twice.
Not what you want to do after you get a leadoff base runner in scoring position. You want to get that runner over to third with preferably 1 out so that he can score on a sac fly or a base knock, or even a ground ball might get it done depending on where the infield is playing. Instead, 2 soft contact pop-outs.
Lopez batting 8th today and playing third for the Blues. Made a nice play at the hot corner earlier. Steps up for his 3rd time today, and he looks at the slider for strike 1. Making his 7th start for San Luis Obispo today. Looking for hit number 2 in the season with a runner at second. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, he's late on it, tips it back into the mid of Arroyo. No balls and 2 strikes. 10 strikeouts and 20 at-bats coming into today's game, trying to prevent number 11 with 2 gone in the 6th. 0-2, tapped right behind home plate. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. There is a left-handed pitcher getting loose in the Barons bullpen now. Julian Barinti from Santa Ana, California. Junior from Compton College. the neighboring school of the Youth Academy down in Compton. 0-2, and Lopez chases after that slider for strike 3. A drop third strike. Easy throw over to first is in time. The side is retired. The Blues get no runs on no hits, an error, and a runner left on base. Still 2-1 San Luis Obispo heading into the 7th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Jacob Klinowski, Adam Arroyo, and Efren Ortega due up against Alec Narin for his second inning of work, a 2-1 lead for San Luis Obispo. First pitch to Klinowski misses low and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Jacob today 0 for 2, unassisted, put out from Zach Tallman at first base and a strikeout swinging in the second. Sebastian Lopez with his toes on the infield grass at third as the right side of the infield shifts towards the first base line. As late in that fastball is Klinowski fouling it straight back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Comerford at second, Tallman at first base, Hicksonbaugh right field. That's 9 syllables on the right side of the diamond. Slider misses in the dirt. Estabrook gets hit off the kneecap, 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's more than Witten, Royal, Ardois, and Lopez combined. Once you throw Estabrook in there, it becomes a different story, but
2-1 from Narin. Popped up just over the press box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We have seen a baseball come to the press box this summer. Spent an entire year with the Blues last year. Didn't see that happen. I know in your short time calling games at Sinsheimer, you did see a ball come to the press box and calling some Cal Poly club baseball as the 2-2 comes home, and it's hit right back up the middle, a rocket that almost hits Narin at 91 miles per hour, and a leadoff single for the right fielder Klinowski. Big fan group from Klinowski above the Barons dugout as the leadoff base runner is aboard for the Academy.
they hadn't gave them much to cheer about up until that point. A strikeout and an unassisted ground out to Zach Tollerman, but I mean they're still cheering for him.
First pitch from Arroyo is chopped in front of the bullpen of the Youth Academy. No balls and 1 strike. Arroyo, the catcher from Capistrano Valley. In his 2023 campaign with the Aggies at New Mexico State, batted south of 200 in 1 start. 0-1, that one misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Arroyo. Was briefly a Mustang with Cal Poly just up the street from Sinsheimer Stadium. Transferred to Golden West that spring. Fouled straight back as he almost falls on his behind on that big cut. A deep sigh as he looks into the sky. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2-1 lead for the Blues. 1-2 count to Adam Arroyo as he swings and pops this one up on the right side out of play. Do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Arroyo with a strikeout swinging today and a walk back in the 5th. Came around and scored the only run of the Barons for the Barons today off the swing of Andy Cisneros Jr. Swing and a miss on the changeup downstairs, and there's the first out of the inning, second K of the day from Adam Arroyo. 66 miles per hour with 1,800 rotations per minute on that changeup. So now it's Efren Ortega Jr. 0 for 1 of the day, a ground ball to second base, and a walk back in the 5th. First pitch, missing downstairs. Estabrook blocks it. 1 ball, no strikes. That was the first strikeout of the day for Alec Narin. And the second for Adam Arroyo this afternoon. Throw to first. Ball kicks off the glove of Tollerman. Doesn't roll much that far off the bag at first. Still 1-0 to Ortega. The utility player committed to Long Beach State. Entering his freshman season. Native from Salmar, California. The 18th ranked catcher in the state, according to Perfect Game. As the fastball hits the outside corner for strike 1. Ortega making his 5th start of the year with the Academy Barons. Only 14 at-bats before today's game. 2 hits in that time. Hit in 2 runs, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. No strikeouts today as Narin comes set from the belt, and the 1-1 comes home. And it's a fastball missing high and outside. Estabrook gloves it on the backhand. 2-1 to the dirtbag commit Ortega. Ortega was playing third base today, but as a catcher, a sub-2 second pop time as the runner takes off towards second and Ortega fouls it straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
For reference, that's pretty good.
That is good. 1.88.
That is very solid.
That's sort of the number you're trying to beat if you're a catcher. Sub 2 seconds. And he did it entering his senior year of high school. Rather advanced behind the dish. Taken off towards second again as the pitch misses low. They check his swing on the throw to second. Yeah, that's not in time. The umpire down the first baseline say he didn't go around. So now the count is full. Worst case scenario, as that was ball 3 and the base was successfully stolen by Klinowski.
And Estabrook, as soon as the throwdown happened, looked back to the umpire behind the plate. I think he was looking for a little bit of catcher's or interference on that throwdown, and he has a pretty good case as the batter was out over the plate and he ran into the bat of the batter.
Payoff pitch. Fastball chased upstairs for strike 3. Alec Narin got Ortega on the chocolate mousse. Back-to-back Ks in the 7th. Now 2 gone with Andy Cisneros Jr. stepping up to plate. Went up the ladder on the fastball, sitting around the mid-80s. And he sits down Ortega for the first time today on strikes. So it's Cisneros Jr. who batted in Arroyo in the 5th inning, that RBI single. He's 1 for 2. Paired that with a fly ball into left field. Cisneros from Chatsworth, California. A Vaquero from Glendale Community College, currently uncommitted. As this one misses in the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes. In his 2 seasons, he has a career .347 average, .404 on base, and a .392 slugging. He's not going to bang it around the yard like most, but he'll certainly put the ball in play, as this one is in there for a strike. Certainly hit well enough to be named All-Western State Conference first team in 2023, and honorable mention last season. The rising junior on the 1-1. That one misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Cisneros Jr. Before his time at Glendale Community College, he was an Aggie at UC Davis, but after a wiping of the coaching staff, he decommitted and played junior college baseball as he chases at that fastball at his eyes. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some hazing issues at Davis almost completely wiped the team of their players and their coaching staff. Cisneros, one of those players to jump ship, now looking for a new home. Uncommitted junior. Hits this one off the end of the bat. Comerford charges it. Here's the throw on the run, and it's in time. The side is retired. The Barons get no runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. 2-1 Blues. It's time to stretch in the bottom of the 7th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher for the Academy Barons, Andrew Stanley's day has come to a close. 6 innings of work, 6 hits, 2 runs allowed, 2 walks to his 5 strikeouts. He gives way to Julian Barinti, the Bulldog from Tennessee Wesleyan University, a former Tartar from Compton College. First pitch from the southpaw misses up and outside to Sam Ardois, stepping up for his 3rd time today. 0 for 2, the shortstop from Lake Charles. A strikeout looking and a fly ball to left field as Konofsky shifts over, hugging the right field line. And the second pitch is in there for strike 1. 1-1 to Ardois. Barinti with the Bulldogs this past season had a 9 ERA with a 1.78 whip. 101 missing high and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. 8 walks to his 24 strikeouts in 23 innings pitched. Made 2 starts for the Bulldogs. 2-1 hit off the hands of Ardois, back into the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That whip doesn't concern me all that much. 178 is definitely high, but it's a little bit lower than what you would expect, or lower than what you would expect a guy with a 9 ERA to have.
There's 24 walks to the 8 strikeouts, a good ratio there as Ardois tags this one to center field and falls for a base hit. Nice barrel from Sammy at 94 miles an hour, nestling in front of Freeman, and a leadoff base runner for the Blues.
And Ardois has just been seeing the ball really well. He hadn't recorded a hit today, but his fly out in the 5th was a hard hit fly ball to the wall in left field. And then that hard hit base hit right there. I mean, he went 3 for 3 yesterday with a pair of a pair of base hits, a pair of RBIs, a pair of runs, a lot of pairs for him yesterday.
Easily the best game Ardois had all season came yesterday against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Trying to carry it over today with that single to lead off this inning, and now it's E.J. Royal who's got a couple of hits of his own this afternoon. A double in the 5th, he came around to score there, and a single in the 3rd, also walked. Here's the pick over to first. Ardois took off towards second base, and he's out by a mile. Lefty moved towards first. Ardois saw the first movement on the right foot, and he is caught stealing in the 7th.
And a base running mistake there from Ardois with no outs. And your best hitter up at the plate. Not the ideal situation there to get thrown out on a pickoff attempt. We've seen him make a few base running mistakes this summer, and that's kind of been his Achilles heel.
And caught stealing for Sammy. Bases now empty for E.J. Royal, the leadoff man who's reached base safely in all 3 plate appearances this afternoon. Finds himself in a 2-1 count against the new pitcher Barinti. Fastball down the middle of the plate for strike 2. Blues leading the Barons 2-1. In the bottom half of the 7th, we've entered the final third of this ball game. The Blues are facing a team that is second in the CCL for earned runs allowed. Royal goes the opposite way in the air. Taking a few steps in is Klonowski and puts it away for the second out of the inning. So now 2 gone in the 7th for Jake Hicksonbaugh, who is hitless this afternoon in his 3 at-bats.
Hicksonbaugh, another guy who had a really good game yesterday. The hometown kid driving in a 2 RBI single to give the Blues the lead in the 8th, and another hit as well. 2 for 5 ball game.
Hitless this afternoon with his strikeout, ground ball out to second and reaching on error in the 5th as he half swing fouls this into the grass bleachers for strike 1. Infield, regular positioning as Hicksonbaugh chops this one on top of home plate. The pitcher gloves it, throws it over to first. It's not in time. An extra bobble from Barinti gives Hicksonbaugh time to reach base safely. Infield base hit for the kid. That's his first one of the day. And there's 2 gone in the 7th. And we can call Hicksonbaugh the kid as he bestowed that nickname to Braden Jeffries earlier this season. Jeffries has since departed, and now Hicksonbaugh is left, the former kid. What do you think? Do you think he can claim it back?
I think he absolutely can, especially with his game yesterday, giving his team the lead in the 8th.
Nico Button, after pinch hitting for Max Lane in the 5th, takes a look at strike 1. He struck out looking there. Oh, 1. This one gets over the glove of Arroyo. Taken off towards second base with ease is Hicksonbaugh. Free 90 feet for the outfielder from Monterey Peninsula. Now a runner in scoring position for the Blues. Nico Button stepping up for the second time today. Peek at second base. Barinti comes home. Button checks his swing and softly grounds it back to the pitcher. Underhand flip to first is in time. The side is retired. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Blues. They still lead by 1 against the Barons. We head into the 8th, 2-1 Blues. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Eighth inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. Pinch hitter to lead things off in the eighth. Grant Ferris's day is done. The pitcher only went 0 for 2 with a grounder to second, and the nice play by Tallerman at first. Nice snag from a fan in a Twins jersey on the foul ball.
I'll only allow it because former Blue Brooksley is on the Twins.
That's the only exception.
Only exception.
There is no other way you should be wearing a Twins jersey on the Central Coast. Unless you're trying to be ironic, of course, in this age of ironic humor. So it's a pinch hitter for Grant Ferris. It's Andrew Ramirez from Walnut, California. He's a rising freshman at Queens College. And he's down in the count 1-2 to Naren. He swings and misses that slider, gets away on the drop third. Here's the throw to first. It's in time. First out of the inning on the third strikeout of the day from Alec Naren. Ryan, where's Queens College?
I don't know. New York, maybe?
That's a really good guess. That is like probably the best guess you could have.
Yeah.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm never getting that one.
So now it's the leadoff man, Anthony Bassett, a switch-hitting shortstop, batting right-handed against the right-handed Alec Naren. He must be a primarily right-handed hitter, as he hit left-handed the first at bat against Cody Albright, the starting pitcher for the Blues, who is also right-handed, drew a walk, but has hit lefty in the 3 plate appearances since. 1-0 from Naren, missing low, 2 balls and no strikes.
I feel like that doesn't really make you a switch hitter then. You can hit both ways, but you only really hit right-handed. And what I don't get is he had success batting left-handed. He got on base.
2-0, and he swings and misses. Foul tip back to the glove of Estabrook, 2 balls and 1 strike. And his right-handed at-bats, after walking, he grounded to third for the final out and popped out to the shortstop, Ardois. Here's the 2-1. Late on that fastball, sent straight back over the netting behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bassett, the Nicaragua native, moved to the United States in pursuit of playing professional baseball. As he hits this on the ground on the left side, and it's through for a base hit. The shortstop with his first knock of the day is aboard with 1 gone in the 8th. Real nice article written about him on the Cerritos College student paper. Explained about his journey of moving to the U.S. in pursuit of professional baseball. He wants to play for the New York Yankees. Classic. Nice quote here from him. I like reading this one. Coming from there, it motivates me more in the United States to know that no one knows me. I want them to know my name. That goes hard, I'm not going to lie. Said in Spanish as well. Fouled straight back into the net. Estabrook shaken up after that foul tip. He slaps hands with Zach Freeman. No balls and 1 strike.
We were just skimming through that article, and it was a very well-written article, and it was a very nice article just touching on Bassett's childhood summed up to the best of the ability of the writer, and then just talking about, the aspirations of Bassett. And it was a very nice article.
Hit off the hands. Ardois picks it and bobbles it. He flips it over to second to get the force out, and that's all they'll get. A wonky play off a half-swing fisted pop in front of Ardois, who bobbled it and flipped it over to second base for the force out. So reaching on a fielder's choice is Zach Freeman.
Ardois had me scared there. I thought after he let it drop in front of him in the bobble, he was going to get no outs, and he was able to get 1.
So now there's 2 gone in the 8th inning. It's Andrew Kirshner, who's 1 for 3 this afternoon. A double in the 6th that was hit over the head of Jake Hicksenbaugh on right. He's first pitch swinging here and flares this one up and over the net on the left side. No balls and 1 strike. And Bassett, more on him, overcame some serious financial hardships down in Central America. Big move for him to come to the United States and not just play baseball and experience a new culture, but learn another language. Throw to first, not in time to get the Buckeye Freeman. So he's played at 2 colleges, played his first year at LA Harbor, and last year with the Falcons, a 324 average, 426 on base, and a 462 slugging. Not bad for the kid who played for the Nicaragua national team every other year since he was 10 years old.
It was a very touching story, just reading it, getting to know a little bit about him. I felt like after we just kind of skimmed through the article, I knew Bassett way more than I know a lot of people that touched the diamond.
Popped up, Lopez moving to his right in foul ground. He backpedals and makes the grab. The side is retired. A pop-up in foul territory from Kirshner. The Barons get no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Still 2-1 Blues heading into the bottom half of the 8th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Middle of the order due up for San Luis Obispo. They lead by 1 against the Academy Barons. It's Cooper Witten, Zach Tullerman, and Brendan Comerford to face Julian Berenti, the left-handed pitcher from Tennessee Wesleyan University. Came in to replace Andrew Stanley last inning. As the first pitch to Witten is hit in the air on the right side and out of play for strike 1. Witten this afternoon, an 0-for-2 day, pop out to right field, grounder to the shortstop Bassett, and a walk in the 4th where he came around to score off the barrel from Brendan Comerford. Middle of the infield wide open as the second baseman Dylan Lena pinches towards the first base line, and he shoots a base hit right through that open space where Lena typically would be standing. A leadoff knock for the UW Husky, Cooper Witten.
And that's a really good sign to see from Cooper Witten, because although reaching both today and yesterday with a walk, he hadn't recorded a hit outside of that. So yesterday, I didn't just noticing this, a very eerily similar day to like it's a parallel day in a way. Strikeout, ground out to third, walk, strikeout, ground out to third.
Whoa.
Well, that'll trip you up.
First pitch, and Tullerman swings and fouls it straight back. No balls and 1 strike. ZT today is hitless. Strikeout looking, a pop fly to left field, and reached on error in the 6th. He was stranded at second base there. Brendan Comerford awaits on deck. Cooper Witten at first on the leadoff base hit. Played the shift well as the second baseman Dylan Lena was pinching towards the first base line. And right where Lena is standing is where Witten hit that ball. Regular positioning for the infield as the 0-1 comes home, and it's a fastball in the outside corner at 90 miles an hour. 0-2 to Tullerman. Tough with 2. The San Jose State commit. Comes home and he hits it on the ground left side, through for a base hit. Underneath the diving attempt from Bassett, and back-to-back knocks for the Blues to begin the 8th inning.
Tough with 2 indeed, as Zach Tollerman, he picks up his first base hit of the day.
95 miles an hour off the barrel of ZT. Good enough to squeak into left field for the knock. Shortened up with 2 strikes, pounded into the ground on the left side. Not enough from the diving attempt from Bassett as Brendan Comerford steps up with 2 runners on. The second baseman today is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. On deck, it's Owen Estabrook, who's 1 for 3 as well. Peak at second base, now coming home. Comerford shows bunt, he gets it down. He pushed it on the right side. Here's the underhand flip to first, and the sacrifice bunt is successful. 2 runners in scoring position for Owen Estabrook.
A beautifully executed push bunt from Comerford to move those runners over and give Estabrook a chance to add some insurance runs.
I don't think we've seen Comerford bunt all season. I know the Blues work on it in batting practice every single day, and really they impressed me with their bunting. It's actually a little staggering how bad college baseball players are at bunting, but the Blues do not have, they certainly are, bunting's a plus for them, I should say.
Yeah, I agree. And Comerford's actually one of the guys that surprises me the most because he's very power heavy. You usually don't see those guys lay it down, but he can.
1-0 hit in the air. Back on the right side, 1 ball and 1 strike to Estabrook. Single in the fourth, pop out to left, and a grounder to third. 1-1 count against Berenti. Infield in with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out in the 8th. Estabrook moves his arms over the left-handed slider for ball 2. 2-1 to the Columbia Lion and Central Coast native. Trying to cash in these 2 runs. Another slider. This one misses inside again. 3 balls and 1 strike. A hitter's count to the Lion. (3-1). Estabrook leaves that one downstairs, and the bases are loaded. The 3-1 walk to Owen Estabrook, and that gives way to Sebastian Lopez, who is hitless this afternoon.
Very mature at bat from Owen Estabrook. Just watch pitches come in and not take bad hacks at them. Load them up now for Sebastian Lopez. The only bad thing about that is now you have the force out at second. The middle infielders back up, and they'll play for the double play.
So the infield does play back. The corners are in as Lopez chases after the first pitch slider for strike 1. Lopez with a pair of ground balls to Ortega at third and a strikeout swinging in the 6th, his 11th K of the season. Trying to give his Blues more cushion in the bottom half of the 8th. 0-1 off-speed pitch, another slider swung on and missed for strike 2. Quickly down on the count is Sebastian Lopez. Sam Ardois awaits on deck, the shortstop batting 9th. Here's the 0-2. Fastball inside, buckling his knees is Lopez moving out of the way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lopez squatting in his stance with 2 strikes. Here's the offering. Slider missing outside. Count now even at 2-2.
Lopez working back into the count, and now he's battling here with 2 strikes, trying to just produce that run from third.
Outfield playing shallow against the Redbird from Seattle U as the 2-2 comes in, and it gets away from Arroyo. Not far enough, though, as he slides on top of that baseball, and Cooper Witten holds up at third. 3-2 to Lopez. One gone, bases loaded. A 2-1 lead for San Luis Obispo. The 8-hitter Sebastian Lopez in a 3-2 count. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball looped on the right side. Diving is Kirshner, and he makes the grab for the second out of the inning. 41-mile-an-hour spinner to the first baseman Kirshner as he fell to his knees to glove that ball for the second out.
Although a disappointing outcome for Lopez, Ardois, probably the hottest bat of any Blue. He's 4 for his last 6 with a couple RBIs and an extra base hit.
He's here with the bases loaded and 2 gone as the first pitch slider just misses inside for a ball. Infield now at regular depth with the middle of the diamond wide open. Here's the 1-0, and Ardois leaves that one low for ball 2.
And Ardois knows that a walk brings in a run, so he's going to be patient and make the pitcher throw strikes.
Doesn't have to stray too far away from the plan he's had for the majority of the season. Looking at as many pitches as possible, trying to give a good scouting report to his teammates in the dugout as the 2-0 is in there for a strike. Two-1 game. Blues lead in the home half of the 8th. Bases loaded. Here's the 2-1 to Sam. He checks his swing, but it's in there for a strike anyway. Deuce is wild to the Raging Cajun. Blues trying to cash in these runs with the bases loaded. Their leadoff man, E.J. Royal, awaits on deck. He has 2 hits on the day. 2-2. Spoiled on the right side. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Very good 2-strike swing from Ardois.
Just trying to fight off a fastball in on his hands. Didn't think he could do that much damage on it. Just threw the lumber at it and fouled it off to the right side. Swings and taps it off the mask of Arroyo. Staying alive here in a 2-2 count against Barenti. Cooper Witten at third base. Zach Tollerman at second. Owen Estabrook at first. Ardois for the 4th time today. He's 1 for 3. A caught stealing in the 7th. Fly ball out to left and a strikeout looking in the 3rd. Here's the 2-2. Fastball missing inside. Fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nice AB from Sam Ardois.
Ardois now has to have a 2-strike approach up there, but also understand that if this next pitch is a ball, it brings in an RBI walk.
Waiting for his patience to pay off. Fastball missing inside, and the Barons just walked in a run. Sam Ardois throws off the gear, and the Blues increase their lead 3-1 over the Academy.
Very good at bat from Ardois. He's been seeing the ball exceptionally well in the past couple of days.
Reach base safely for the 2nd time today, as that was the first walk issued by Barenti. And now it's the leadoff man, E.J. Royal. Bases loaded situation. Talked about it last night. He always seems to find himself in these kinds of spots, which is ironic for a leadoff hitter. First pitch to him is a fastball in there for a strike.
Very ironic. Usually, I mentioned it last night, the leadoff guy is the guy that's going to get the bases loaded, rally started, but last night he had the bases loaded in the 8th and he walked home a run.
Slider just missing inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Royal. He also cleared the bases when they were loaded against the Foresters just a few days ago down at Eddie Matthews with that double.
3 straight games he's come up with the bases loaded, back-to-back days in the 8th inning.
1-1, hit up the middle, and it's a base hit. E.J. Royal cashes in 1. Here comes another one. The throw to third is offline. 2 RBI single for the Trailblazer.
And E.J. Royal gets it done again. It's a good thing for the Blues that E.J. Royal comes up in these bases loaded situations. In his last 3 at-bats with the bases loaded, he's 2 for 2 with 5 RBIs.
It's just barbecue chicken for EJ every time the bases are loaded.
Side of green beans, too. I mean, golly, he is good.
So now it's Jake Hicksonbaugh with a 5-1 lead over the Academy. 2 runners on. They're both at the corners. The first pitch to him is a fastball that misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The Kid is 1 for 4 with a single in the 7th, a strikeout swinging, reach on air, and a ground ball to second base, Lena. 1-0, misses high, 2-0 to the left-handed hitting right fielder. th hit of the day for the Blues came off the bat of Royal. As 2-0 misses low and outside, 3-0 to Hicksonbaugh. Jake has 7 runs batted in this season. A swing away from collecting number 8. Ardois at third, E.J. Royal at first base. Here's the 3-0. And fastball missing downstairs. 4-pitch walk to Jake Hicksonbaugh. Reloads the bases for Nico Button.
Nico has a strikeout looking and a ground out back to the pitcher in today's ball game, but his first 2 at-bats back playing competitive baseball after the concussion, still kind of getting warmed up to baseball after the injury, but maybe a good chance here for him to make that transition.
It's a meeting at the mound for the Academy. That's the first mound visit they've had all day.
The first mound visit for either team,
Yeah.
for that matter. Yeah. Let's take a look around the CCL during this mound visit. We have 6 other games going on today. We have the Oaks and the Ventura County Pirates at Sparky Anderson Field. In the top of the 7th, the Oaks are leading 12-4. In the bottom of the 6th at Eddie Matthews Field, the Foresters lead the Sunrays 3-2. In the bottom of the 1st, the Menlo Park Legends lead the Alameda Merchants 2-0. The Legends trying to fight back after losing 7 straight. And the top of the 1st just underway, and Sonoma, the Crawdads and the Stompers are knotted up at 0. And in the bottom of the 1st, the Saints lead the Riptide at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field 2-0.
That Stompers Walnut Creek game is the most important one besides this game for the Blues all day. Tied for second place in the CCL North with Sonoma are the Blues. Walnut Creek in first place. Bases loaded for Nico Button. As the 1-0 comes home and it misses outside, Arroyo keeps that one in front. 2 balls and no strikes. Hitters count to the Berkeley catcher. Outfielders playing shallow against Nico. Ardois at third. E.J. Royal at second. Jake Hicksonbaugh at first. Here's the 2-0. This one missing low and outside. There's 7 straight from Barenti.
And Button just having the same approach that Ardois had, and that's make Barenti throw strikes. He knows that if he draws a walk, it brings in another run.
3-0. Taking all the way. What a frame job from Adam Arroyo.
It was a really good frame job indeed. I thought all the way it was ball 4.
3-1 to Button. Fastball, he's late on it and fouls it over the press box. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now having to be tough with 2 is the lefty.
Nice thing for Button now is all 3 runners will be on the move, so anything in the gap is 3 RBIs. A base hit is 2.
Nico in his 13th appearance in a Blues uniform this summer. On the 3-2. Late on this one again and fouls it back out of play. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nico with only 4 RBIs on the season in his 11 hits, 3 of them for extra bases. 8 walks to his 6 strikeouts. Here he is in a 3-2 count against Barenti. Another payoff. Fastball fouled right off the mid of Arroyo, staying alive at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 5-1 ball game. The Blues lead the Academy Barons a 3-run inning. A walk from Ardois scored a run, and EJ scored 2 on his single. 3-2, hit back up the middle, off the mound, the shortstop. Bassett's got it, goes to first, and it's just in time. The side is retired. The Blues get 3 runs on 2 hits. They strand 3 on, and no errors for the Barons. 5-1 San Luis Obispo as they look to shut the door on the Academy. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Last chance for the Academy in the top half of the 9th inning as Dylan Lena is first pitch swinging against Alec Narin, coming back out there for his 4th inning of work after replacing Cody Albright. The Blues just put up 3 runs in the 8th inning on the 2 RBI single from E.J. Royal and the walk from Sam Ardois that brought Owen Estabrook home. This 9th inning is brought to you by Plan Perfect Retirement. Be sure to contact Sherry Tallman at PlanPerfectRetirement.com. Plan Perfect, Corporate Retirement Plan Specialists. Lena on the 0-1 swings and pops it up on the right side. Won't be playable for the first baseman, Zach. It goes into the bullpen as Tallman leans over the fence. No balls and 2 strikes to the wrestler from Golden West. 1 for 3 afternoon for the second baseman as he leads off the 9th inning. Narin comes set on the 0-2. Kicks and fires on the slider outside. Lena took all the way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 5:30 slugger from Golden West on the 1-2. Fastball crushed out to left field. Going back is Witten. He looks up and that's gone. Right on cue, Dylan Lena parks one next to the yellow school buses in left, and it's 5-2 Blues.
Another home run given up for the Blues. It hasn't been an issue for them all season long, but now in these last 2 games, they've given up 3 home runs. 2 yesterday to the Forsters, and now that line drive home run to Lima.
That's his first home run this summer after hitting 9 this past season at Golden West. Brings this game within 3 as it leads off the 9th inning. So now it's Jacob Klinowski, a right fielder batting left-handed. He's also 1 for 3 today. The lefty with his closed stance on the first pitch leaves that one outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Klinowski, the pioneer from Cal State East Bay, the outfielder first baseman hybrid entering his senior season. hits this one high into shallow right field. Comerford, with his feet on the grass, comes back into the dirt and makes the one-handed grab for the first out of the inning. Just got underneath that fastball from Nairn, and the towering pop-out is put away from Comerford. Blues now 2 outs away from putting an end to this ball game as Adam Arroyo steps up for the 4th time today. A walk in the 5th, sandwiched between 2 strikeouts swinging as he taps this one in front of the Barons dugout. No balls and 1 strike. Arroyo, a former teammate of Dylan Lena, who just hit that home run at Golden West. In his 1 season with the Rustlers in 2022, he was 2nd team All-Orange Empire Conference with his .689 slugging. My bad. This one hit off the hands into left field. Witten ranging to his right, and he makes the grab for the 2nd out of the inning.
Blues 1 out away from extending that win streak to 4 games, and 4 really good wins, to say the least, especially thinking back to last night's game against the Sturs and then in Santa Barbara on Thursday. 2 very good wins from the Blues, looking to make it 4.
So it's Efren Ortega standing in the way of Alec Nairn and the Blues in their 4th win in a row. Ortega is 0 for 2, a grounder to second, strikeout swinging, and a walk in the 5th. 1-0 is in there for a strike. 2 gone, a 5-2 lead for the Blues. 1-1 from the Pepperdine Wave is an off speed that's dribbled on the ground left side. Lopez can't glove it. Hitting right off the leather tips, and this inning stays alive on the error from the 3rd baseman. Tough break for the Blues as the man at 3rd couldn't glove it, and now it's Andy Cisneros Jr.
A somewhat similar error that we saw earlier. Comerford kept the glove up in the air and the ball squirted under. Same thing there.
First pitch swinging. Cisneros pops this one up in the infield. Ardois calls off Comerford. He makes the grab, and that's the ball game. Blues take the 5-2 victory over the Academy Barons, and their winning streak grows to 4.
It does indeed. A really good game for the Blues, and it came in the later innings. No Blue except E.J. Royal had a multi-hit game, so it was really a all-around effort from 1 through 9 in today's ball game. And how about Alec Nairn coming back to the Blues after not throwing for him since May 31st and giving up just 1 run in 4 innings of work.
Nice pitching for the Blues this afternoon. San Luis Obispo with the I wouldn't say disappointing, but not on par with what we've seen statistically with the Barons pitching staff this year, as the Academy is 2nd in the league in earned runs allowed, and they have allowed the single most amount of walks. One would think that the walk numbers would see an uptake for a Blues offense, which is bottom 5 in that category, but San Luis Obispo only drew 5 today in their 5-2 victory over the Academy, but nothing to worry about with the offense as they did come to life in the 8th. It took them a while, though. It took them until E.J. Royal broke the seal with that single in the 3rd. Up until then, 8 or 9 Blues batters had been retired in a row. Going forward, you'd like to think that it shouldn't take one guy and one swing to get things going. You'd like to spark that a little earlier, especially against a team like the Academy, who are struggling 8 games behind first place in the CCL South.
Yeah, and that's not really going to work in tomorrow's ball game when you play the Caneo Oaks, a very good ball club who can put up runs fast, can put them up in a hurry, and can damage your pitchers, especially if you let them get ahead. I mean, they're up 12-4 against Ventura County right now, so that just proves that they can put up runs, and the Blues are going to have to match that.
The Blues saw that firsthand when they played Caneo Oaks and took the loss against them just a few days ago down in Thousand Oaks, so they'll get another chance at them tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues trying to make it 5 in a row against Caneo, who is currently running a 5-game win streak of their own. If you can't make it out of the game tomorrow, you can always tune in on the Slow Blue Streaming Network.